Today we are in Johnstown, Ontario at the facilities of Giant Tiger to discuss their private fleet operations. Mike, let's talk a little bit about the technology you're using in the fleet. So in today's world, as we all know, technology changes quickly. As soon as you've got something that's state of the art, 2 weeks later it may not be. What kind of technology have you recently introduced into your fleet? What type of stuff are you piloting and looking into? And what ways do you kind of make sure you're always looking into the latest and greatest technology so you know what's available for the fleet to be used?
Currently we have DriveWise, which is the bypass system in Ontario for the scales. Our CVOR record obviously is very good. MTO is not really looking for carriers like us. We tend to get a lot of bypasses through the Ontario scales. It saves us a lot of time and a lot of money. All of our trucks have radar systems in them and blind spot warning systems. They'll also, collision mitigation systems. The Detroit Assurance package with the Freightliners, they have the active lane assist. They will take some of that strain off the drivers on the shoulders by maintaining the lane. So the drivers still obviously have to have a hold of the wheel, but the actual steering wheel will move and keep the truck in the lane for them. We're currently using Geotab for our ELDs, as well as our GPS tracking on the entire fleet. That's a recent change. Geotab provides us with more of the information that we need in the background. We also have the Halo tire inflation system. So it's a bolt-on application that goes onto the hubs of the drive tires, and that will keep the tires at the exact tire pressure that we set them at. It improves tire wear as well as obviously fuel economy, which is very, very important right now. The Halo system, it's also monitored. The entire maintenance team will get an alert anytime that a tire pressure drops. We'll look at it and determine whether it's a leak or a slow leak, or is it going to be a blowout that happens very soon. On our refrigerated trailers, all of our trailers have the iBright system. So we're able to monitor from our laptops, the temperature on every single load that we have. That keeps our product at the right temperatures. We know instantly if something's going on, and we can get in front of it and have the driver stop and get things fixed up. For the future, we are looking at in-cab dash cameras. They're obviously very important to us. It's good for insurance, it's good for us, because our drivers do drive extremely well. But the road is the road. You know as well as I do that people will cut you off and slam on the brakes in front of you or do crazy things, and the dash cameras obviously can help in that situation.
In a lot of cases, it can go a long way to exonerate the driver and prove that they didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Going back to technology, you talked about lane assist, collision avoidance. How did you drivers initially react to that? And the reason I ask that is I believe the key thing is you have to communicate with the drivers and train them on this is how this truck's going to act now. Yeah. And a lot of the misunderstanding that they didn't like is a truck was doing something that they weren't expecting it to do. So how was the driver's reaction to it when the new technologies first started coming in?
The active lane assist, that was a little bit freaky. I was the very first one to bring it because I brought it down with the truck down from the dealer in Ottawa. So when I was driving down the road, it freaked me out. So it was obvious that we had to talk to those drivers and warn them about what was going on. The radars and the blind spot warnings and all that was a very similar situation. There's, beeping and buzzing and lights and stuff like that. So it's a learning curve for everybody. But at the end of the day, when you talk to your drivers and you explain that this is how we're going to mitigate accidents and incidents, and it has. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The system has kicked in and saved us. So obviously it's done its job.
Yeah. Well, I've always said this, the safest vehicle and driver out there is a well-equipped, well-maintained, well-spec'd out truck with a well-trained driver with the right attitude, and the two of them working together is what works the best for everybody.
No, absolutely. And in our trucks, we also have the electric power units. So the EPUs will run your air conditioning and your heat while the drivers are parked. They don't have to listen to the engine. They don't have to smell the fumes. And it's obviously saves us a pile of money in idling costs. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk today, Mike.
Thanks again, Mike.